Hey golf people, I just made it to the PGA Show 2022 and I want to share some of the pretty cool things I found during the show here with you today. I'm looking at everything from clubs to electronics to apparel and more, and we're going to have some fun here on today's episode. Not a lot of content creators here this year at the show, so here I am, your friend Gabe, to step in and show you what you missed if you couldn't make it to the PGA Show 2022. Let me show you what I loved.
It's insane.
It's insane. I've hit 20 and all 20 have been almost perfect. It's an amazing club. What a find this thing.
So this PGA Show was different from every other one I've been to. None of the major club manufacturers decided to come. And at first, while I thought that was a negative, it turned out to be a huge positive for me because I got a chance to find some brands and some unique products and technology that I normally would not have searched out. The first one being an incredible driver from Japan. This thing is made by a company called Docus Design. Their setup was no frills. It was a little table. It was the founder of the company who actually makes the clubs and one of his assistants, maybe a family member, I'm not even sure. But I took a few swings with their forged clubs, and while they felt pretty good, it just wasn't something that really interested me. I was about to walk away, and then I found the Hurricane driver. I think that's what it's called at least, and I cannot wait to get this thing back out on course because I took a few swings with this thing, and let me tell you, it blew me away.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, that's great.
It was a cold, windy, rainy day at the PGA Show demo day, and this thing I was just blasting bombs with. I could not hit a bad shot with this thing.
So what you won't see here on the video is the fact that he's hit 10 balls with his driver and the dispersion's like 10 yards tops, if that. They're like all 10 balls out there laying next to each other. It's insane.
It's insane. I have not hit usually I come out here, I hit like 5 shots with the club. I kind of get a feel for it. And I got a lot of clubs to hit. I've hit 20 and all 20 have been almost perfect. Like within like a few yards, like you said, within a few yards.
A couple of yards or so is all.
This is an amazing club. What a find this thing.
I don't think I've ever felt more comfortable with a driver right out of the box. This club came with a custom shaft, and the owner told me it was pretty expensive.
Only shaft, $600.
Oh yeah? Can I have that one?
Yeah, $600 got my ears perked up, but the results spoke for themselves. I kept hitting it and hitting it to the point where I think I finally hit about 40 to 50 balls with this thing because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I had to pull out my personal Swing Caddy SC300i just to get some data and see if what my eyes were showing me was actually true, and it was and more. I was hitting shots consistently from 245 to 250, and that really translates to about 270 yards because I was playing in cold, wet conditions with range balls that definitely did not travel as far. These things were chewed up and nasty. They were not very good balls. And yet still I was getting around 250 yards of distance. But distance is one thing, and that's great. But control and consistency to me in a driver means a lot too. And I've never in my life seen a driver do what this driver did. The first 10 balls I hit, you could walk down to the fairway, drop them, and they would have been within 2 yards of each other. I could not believe the consistency I got out of this thing. Now let me tell you, this thing sounded awful.
This driver sounds not so great. Hits it amazing. It looks like the ball's flying off. It's got a very tinny sounder, but really nice. Look at all the different weighting back there. You don't see that too often.
Oh, that's cool. It gives you a lot of options too, right?
Super custom.
Move weight around if you want.
Even their shafts are custom. They have their own shafts here.
And I asked the owner about it. I was like, that's a little tinny. He told me that it's because the Japanese market really likes a loud sounding driver. So I learned something new there. But this thing is incredible. I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's a custom driver made in Japan by Docus Design. And I am going to try my best to get my hands on one of these things because, like I said, was not expecting much from demo day, especially when I saw who was there. When I walked away from the Docus Design booth, one of the last ones I stopped at, and I felt pure ecstasy for the first time all day.
Jeez. Yeah.
I mean,
That's great. That's great.
A solid club.
You might need to buy this thing, buddy.
The next product that blew me away was actually on the trade show floor, and that is the new Shot Scope rangefinder. They're calling it the Pro LX. And what makes this system unique is it's a normal rangefinder, an optical rangefinder, but on the back, you've got a display. Now, we've seen a display on the back. We've seen that with the Voice Caddy SL2, but this one's different because it's actually detachable. You can detach it off of the rangefinder, you can clip it to your belt, you can clip it to your cart, and you will get accurate satellite data in addition to the optical data that the rangefinder is providing. It looks super cool.
So now this is detachable via a magnet, and through the GPS handheld, you can performance track.
And that's great, but let me tell you what's even better. The ergonomics of this thing, the way they've got it so it fits in your hand, is the most comfortable fitting rangefinder that I've ever felt. And what's even better than that is this is the quickest reading rangefinder that I've ever felt, apart from possibly the super high-end Bushnells. Now I'm gonna have to see if we can actually do a speed test to test that out. But I'll tell you what, when I was gauging things in the showroom floor, when I was hitting the button and getting a reading, it was almost instantaneous where I got the data and how far I was from that point.
Yeah, it's really snappy. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I can't wait to do a full review of these things. They're coming out in March, and they will be offered at our sponsor, playbetter.com. But let me get one in hand. I want to take one out on course and see if it performs as well for me on course as it did inside the PGA Show. If it does, this is going to be one rangefinder that I'm super excited about. Next up on my list, I stopped at the R-Golf booth. And R-Golf, you actually saw me test some clubs last year that I really liked. And while R-Golf makes very high-end, nice irons, they're really known for their putters. And this putter that I tried was very special. First of all, just look at the shape of this thing. And look at the milling on this thing. There was something about the balance and the aesthetic and everything about this putter that I fell in love with.
Now, R-Golf is a company that has history in the aviation industry, and that means that their tolerances are extremely tight. There are no imperfections in these things, and they are absolutely perfectly balanced.
And hey, we're on the show floor. There's people all around. I didn't even have holes to putt at, but I could feel like this is a putter that I really want to try. I'm hoping I can get my hands on one, and we will do a full review of this putter very soon. Now, a big focus on this PGA Show was on golf simulators, and there were some new companies that were rolling out things, and there were some companies that you've heard of before that were rolling out new technologies. One of those companies being Golf Zone. Now, Golf Zone is a Korean company known for very, very high-end simulators. But what I was most excited about was this new simulator called the Wave. The Wave is actually a Doppler-based mobile device, and I got a chance to try it out for myself. Now, I will say it had a few issues with connectivity, and that might be because there was so much Wi-Fi and signals and thousands of people there on the PGA Show floor. But what it seems to be capable of doing, and at the price point that this will be competing in, which I assume will be around the Mevo Plus or the SkyTrack price point, maybe a little bit more, I think this thing could be a beneficial tool for a lot of golfers out there. And if these things are even half as good as the Golf Zone simulators, which are really at the top end of the spectrum, this will be a nice tool for all of us mere mortals to use. Now, availability of these things won't be for a while. We're probably talking 6 months. But when that happens, I will try to get my hands on one and we'll try to demo it here for the channel. Another simulator system that I got to try was Unicore. Now, Unicore's iXO has been out for a while, but now they've got a new mobile-friendly unit called the iMini. Looks more like the new Bushnell Launch Pro or the GC3 that just recently came out on the market. And yes, I've got one of those, and we will be doing lots of videos on the new Launch Pro. In fact, it'll probably be my simulator of choice here as I'm building out the simulator room at my house. We'll see if I really like it. But this thing from Unicore decor looks really awesome as well. I got a chance to play a couple holes of golf, and the graphics are next level. I was using a nice 4K projector. This is unique software to Unicore, so it's not a third-party system. This is actually built into the device. I didn't get many more details. Again, not sure of the price point on this, but when this thing comes out, it's something that I'll definitely want to take a close look at. Now, one other brand I was excited to learn about was Sticks. Now, Sticks makes a very cool looking minimalist package set of golf clubs that looks like they might be able to compete with the big names out there. I got a chance to hit a few shots with them. I was impressed early in my testing here.
Yeah, so for a slower swing, it'll be good.
Wow.
Pipe dream.
In the rain, the ball got up in the air quite nicely, quite easily. They look like they're very forgiving clubs.
These are sweet, man.
You like it?
I love it.
All right.
I really love it. It's so easy to get in the air.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice tight draw.
And they look like they are perfect for your mid to high handicappers out there. I'm going to try to get a set of these clubs to take out on course. I've been in contact with the company to do so, and I'm looking forward to finding out what Sticks can do. Now, I checked out a lot more things during the show, but those were the ones that I was most excited about. What are you most excited about? I would love to know down in the comments, or if you've watched any other creators with their content from the PGA Show, what did you find most interesting or most exciting here in 2022? Leave me a comment down below. Now, if you haven't already, it's probably a good time to hit subscribe because I've got some awesome content coming your way in the coming weeks. I've got the new Bushnell Launch Pro that I told you about. We'll be looking at that Mevo Plus upgrade. I've got some cool clubs like the new PXG Gen 4 driver, the Titleist T100 irons, and a whole lot more. I hope to catch you back watching some of those videos, and I'll see you next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.